is the Atlanta Jewelry Show. And much like Aaliyah, is fantastic at sharing information for the benefit of the industry as a whole. And I, for one, along with everybody else on the board, and the membership of the Arkansas Jewelers Association, and we are happy and honored to have you here. Everybody, please welcome Ann Glynn.
Thank you. I had a PowerPoint, but I don't want to run over into Chuck's time because Chuck has some really important information to share with you. And the beauty about my presentation is it can be expanded or condensed, and so we're going to condense it a little bit. The first question the first thing that I want to say is a lot of you know me, but you don't really know me. You see my words, you see my voice out there probably on a daily basis. If you follow people like Southern Jewelry News, or even some things like Aaliyah's new site, Jewelers Direct, or the Atlanta Jewelry Show, I'm the person that creates all that content, and I create it in their voice. So today I want to talk to you about two things. First of all, a voice for your business, the voice of your business, and then we'll get to Small Business Saturday. I'll give you a little bit of background on me. I've been in the industry for about close to 40 years now. Feels sometimes longer and sometimes shorter, but the beginning of my business life, my dad was one of the first people who ever programmed computers for the government. And so he kept telling me, you've got to go into computers, you need to write code. This is way, way back when there was, code was not what it is today. And so because of that, I went with him on a lot of jobs as he was installing computers as big as this room in some major restaurants and stores and things like that. And I became probably 7 or 8 years old, very enamored with the name behind the company behind where he was installing the computers. And that's where my love of marketing grew. I didn't want to do the programming. I wanted to see how I could help people develop their presence. So it's always something that's fascinated me. I have a God-given knack for finding someone's sweet spot or their own talents when they sometimes don't see them themselves. The other thing is that at that young age, my dad taught me to become a very good debugger. Do you know what a debugger is? Don't know what it is? Okay. Somebody's laughing, they know what it is. So a debugger is someone who can look at thousands, sometimes tens or hundreds of thousands of lines of code and find the flaw. If you create a program and you don't know, and you execute it and it doesn't work, it's because there's a bug in it. So a lot of times when I was younger, people would come to me and say, here's the program, but we don't know where the problem is. So I would look through tens or hundreds of thousands of lines of code and find it. It might be an extra comma, it might be a space, it might be a period where it doesn't need to be. But looking at this stuff can make you batty, and a lot of people don't like to do it. And so a lot of people think that it's great because I'm great at details. My husband just tells me I'm anal neurotic, and that's why I'm so good at that. And it's probably true. But my attention to details, I think, is what helps my customers grow, because I can see things that they can't. So I want to ask you, how many of you are already involved in Small Business Saturday? Those of you that have retail businesses. Okay, a few of you. And have you seen success with it? No? Why do you think that is?
No idea.
Okay. So Small Business Saturday last year, I talked to Aaliyah a lot about Small Business Saturday, and I don't know if she's really up on it or not. But we have a great opportunity every year between Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday to capitalize as brick and mortar retailers on those opportunities. The number one thing with Small Business Saturday, last year I think it was about $19 billion that people actually spent in their local economy. So you can't approach Small Business Saturday on like the Monday before Small Business Saturday and say, oh hey, yeah, that's right, I remember. Small Business Saturday is coming up. So I'm gonna just throw a little hashtag out on my Facebook page or put something up on my website. What you need to do is start preparing about 45 days out and think about partnering. So the first thing you want to do if you want to either up your Small Business Saturday game or become involved in Small Business Saturday is to start your Shop Small campaign today. And one of the ways I want to tell you to get prepared is to look at your digital assets. Thank you very much, Michelle, for setting me up right after following our great talk, because some of what I want to talk to you about is digital assets. So what are those and what do they include? That includes your email addresses, your website addresses, your Facebook page, your Twitter page, your Instagram, and your LinkedIn. All of those things that have either your personal name or your company name are referred to as digital assets. And all of them can be used in different ways to help you grow your business. So as you're preparing for Small Business Saturday, take a look at them, or have somebody in your store take a look at them, or call me. I'm happy to give you fresh eyes and say, where do I stand right now? How does my store look from a digital perspective to the world? That's step number one. Because if people are going to come to shop you locally, you want to make sure that your site, your Facebook page, your Twitter has a local flavor. Welcome them, invite them in, and let them know that you're the place that they want to shop. So that would be the first thing that you would do. The second thing to prepare for Small Business Saturday would be to think about what specials you want to offer. Again, Small Business Saturday is the day right after Thanksgiving, which is great, but we still have the whole rest of the holiday season to get through. So if you can offer specials on that, only on that day, or on Cyber Monday, which I'll refer to in a minute, then you can get people coming back into your store all holiday season long. So for example, every Saturday for the holiday season of 2018, you can offer, say, when they come in and shop you Small Business Saturday, they might get a printed sheet, they might get a little card, they might get something from you that says, here are all the specials that we have running for the entire holiday season. And since you shopped with me on this day, you're going to be able to get those specials. Don't make it public. Don't let other people know. Just use it as a reward for the people that did come and shop with you on Small Business Saturday. And you can say, if you come in and shop with us on Small Business Saturday, we'll give you $1,000 in holiday savings, $1,500, $2,000 in holiday savings, whatever it is that you want to design it as, but give them a reason to keep coming back. Because we know people don't come in on, they don't do it on Black Friday, they don't do it on Small Business Saturday. We all have seen the male customers that come in, at 2 minutes before you're going to close on Christmas Eve. But this will incentivize them to come back and shop with you. Also, as you're setting this up, think about how you're going to use your codes. Is there older merchandise that you want to turn? Do some inventory and find out, is there stuff that you don't have stocked that could be a great stocking stuffer or great to sell for Christmas time. Think about your Small Business Saturday preparation, not only as that, but also as your whole entire holiday preparation. The third thing that I want to talk about is getting social, which we heard a lot about earlier. How do you get social? Number one thing is market your message and be consistent. Use the Small Business Saturday hashtags. You would be so surprised how many people look for Small Business Saturday on their Facebook pages, on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Make sure that you brand yourself as someone who is using a Small Business Saturday opportunity. American Express is excellent about providing you with materials, whether it's graphics, whether it's bags to give away, whether it's signage, and they'll give it to you for free. So call them or get on their website and order it now. Be prepared now, because if someone comes into your shop and they purchase, let's say, $250 or $500 worth of goods, you can have a Small Business Saturday bag ready for them, already stuffed with information that they can take home with them and give them a nice tote bag that didn't cost you anything and remind them of Small Business Saturday. The other thing, a lot of us as jewelers, and Aaliyah says this as well all the time, we don't do a good enough job of promoting ourselves. I know I don't, but Aaliyah does it for me because I'm the one that promotes everyone else. So I have a hard time stepping outside my shoes and saying, okay, how do I position myself or how do I promote myself? I forget sometimes my strengths and talents, but I'm grateful to have her to remind me. All of you are probably in the same position. We don't do a good enough job of letting not only our community, but our customers know who we are and what we have to offer. So think about for Small Business Saturday, writing press releases, partnering up perhaps with someone in the media, radio, television, whatever it may be, for some kind of holiday giveaway. There are ways that you can get extra public relations, promotions, marketing opportunities without having to spend a lot of money. If you have some merchandise that is in the case and all you would get for it is scrap, think about doing some kind of giveaway with a local charity or your local media, again, newspaper, radio, television, putting it into a Christmas stocking and allowing them to auction it off. You're going to benefit from them promoting you without having to spend all those advertising dollars on television advertising. There's other ways that you can do it. So press releases are important. If you don't have someone to help you with that, I'm happy to help you with that. But think about it. A lot of people don't remember how effective press releases can be today. We're thinking, okay, we're out there, we're social all the time. I'm on Facebook, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Every time you use a press release to announce something new that you're doing, it reminds people of who you are and what you have to bring to the table. So that's an important thing. The other thing I want to say to you as far as press is concerned, make sure you get your name in our industry press as well. I do a lot of press releases for people that receive Southern Jewelry News, Mid-America Jewelry News, and we're really looking for releases from our small business retailers, our small retailers. The thing is, once you're written up in a industry paper, you can take that writing and then you can use that in your own, for your own media, for your own, you can post it on your website, post it on your Facebook, post it on your Twitter. And I know that Bill from Southern Jewelry News always links and everything that they post back to their website. So all you have to do then is just link back to the website and go from there. Excuse me, I'm sorry, my mouth is super dry. Sinus medication, apologize. So, promote yourself not only in your community, but promote yourself within the industry as well. I know a lot of times we do events like this, and again, I'm guilty of it because I'm the person that writes for a lot of people. I don't write a lot for myself. But when you network, when you go out, when you're meeting someone, and I do it for the Atlanta show all the time, retailers who attend the Atlanta show, I like to make sure that they're noticed. Exhibitors who exhibit in the Atlanta show, like Anish, I always want to make sure if I see news about Anish anywhere that I'm going to cross-promote it, whatever he's doing. I'm going to promote it in JHJ, I'm going to promote it at the Atlanta Jewelry Show. I'm going to make sure that I keep his name out there. I don't know, probably none of you know this, but Mark and Charlotte have been my insurance agent for about a decade now. They've taken really good care of me. And they're kind of guilty about not promoting themselves as well as they should, the wonderful things that they do, because they do a lot for Arkansas, they do a lot for their own community. But within the industry, especially in Louisiana, I know there's a lot of jewelers that know their name, but we could do a better job at getting your visibility up there a little bit. Why? And not just necessarily to sell. I call it show and sell, or show and tell, not show and sell. So you don't want to position yourself that you're telling somebody about you all the time. Show them who you are and sell them on who you are. Just again, as Leah said last night, sell your personality, sell your voice. That's what's going to keep people coming back and dealing with you. I've had other insurance agents call me in 10 years, and I would never leave them because they always take care of me. But the email always comes, the Christmas card always comes, you know, I always get a how are you, do you need anything? The invoice always comes on time. That's okay, that's good, I don't mind that. And I've also done some things outside of the box. I've looked for some insurance that's outside of the box to fit my particular needs, and they've been able to customize it. Why? Because they know me, and they know what it is that I'm looking for. And I think, too, as you're going into the holidays, think about that a little bit. How well do your customers really know you, and how do you know your customers? Especially for Small Business Saturday and the Christmas season. If you know things about them, and again, I know we're all so busy and the digital world is crazy and it's hard to communicate, which actually isn't the truth because it's easier now than it's ever been to communicate. Go through your customer list now and say, okay, well, I know that Patricia bought a beautiful strain of pearls for me or her husband did for Valentine's Day. Could I find, or do I have something in earrings or a bracelet or a ring that's going to match? that I can send them out an email or a letter. A letter is even better because you never know who's reading whose emails, and invite them into the store. I've got the perfect gift for you. I've got something that matches. Or again, going back to insurance, Jewelers Mutual has by far the best personal insurance policies in the industry, by far. And they all benefit you as retailers as well, because don't they go back to the store? Right, that's what I thought. So, how about as a holiday reminder, when you're selling and busy on Black Friday or and over that weekend, put a little something print up something that you could slip into their bag that says, make sure to insure your beautiful piece of jewelry. Remind them constantly over and over and over again. And don't just remind them to insure, remind them to see you to insure. Because you've got access right here to the 2 people, if you're not doing it in your store already, that can help you do it.
And you can make money doing it.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So think about, and again, think about partnering for Small Business Saturday. Not only with people like Mark and Charlotte for the personal insurance, but for a cause. One of my favorite causes is Dress for Success, and I'll tell you why. Not only do they help thousands of women every single day, and there's local chapters in almost every major city in the United States, but the biggest thing that they're missing, well, let me ask you this. Does anybody know, can anybody imagine what the biggest thing Dress for Success doesn't get is?
Shoes.
No. Costume jewelry. I have heard story after story after story of people that manage Dress for Success chapters telling me, and it's so sad when they come in, and I'll have 2 or 3 girls there, and I have one necklace or one nice pair of earrings. And I promise you, they're not looking for high-end gold. They're not looking for diamonds. They're looking for nicer costume jewelry that they can give. So, a promotion that I think would work really great, because remember, people think Dress for Success. As a retailer, we're probably thinking, I don't want people dropping off a lot of clothes in my store. I don't want to look, like the Salvation Army, Goodwill, bags everywhere. Don't do that. Do a special night, or do a week, or do a weekend where you have people come in and donate their costume jewelry and check it over. Make sure it's, nice and all the stones are there. Put it in the cleaner, polish it up if you need to. Have them drop it off and then give them a gift certificate based on how much they donate. If they donate 10 necklaces to you, give them a $100 certificate for them to spend before December 31st. Again, urgency, and you're taking care of a need. So you're creating a need, taking care of a need, and you're satisfying it with urgency. And as you're collecting, another thing about Dress for Success, if you look on your local chapter's website page, you're going to see that most of them are very heavily partnered up with major corporations in your state. AT&T, Lowe's, Home Depot, all of these people partner with Dress for Success and sit on their boards. That means if you collect a lot of jewelry, let's say, pounds, 100 pounds of jewelry, 200 pounds of jewelry that you can donate, what you can do is have a little cocktail party for all of the board members that are very high profile in the community. Invite them in to make your donation. The connection, not only between community and a cause, but also between promotion, is integral. Again, you need to do a better job of promoting yourself, and don't be afraid to reach out to people that can help you. Don't be afraid to make that connection with a charity like Dress for Success that has other successful people on the board that sit on their boards, and have them come into your store. Because you want them in your store. These are the people we want to sell. Not your family members that call you, like at 6 o'clock on Christmas Eve and they want 40% off of the watch that you already marked 40% off. You'd rather cultivate those community members that can be living, breathing, walking billboards for you, wearing your jewelry, wearing custom creations, wearing particular pieces that came out of your store. And it also doesn't hurt on the PR side to have a few snaps of these people in your store at a cocktail party that you can run in the newspaper, that you can run online, that you can run on your Facebook page, letting people know that this is how you're connecting with the community. Excuse me. the other thing that's important to our industry and something that I am really excited about because I was working with them to help us make it happen, is to offer financing. How many of you offer financing in your store? Okay, the majority. And how much of it is through like Wells and Synchrony and things like that? Okay. How many of you offer your own financing? So there's a company that I work with who is actually a partner of ours called One Step Technologies. And they work on the credit card processing end, which is the front end. And on the back end, they also just introduced at the end of the summer a consumer finance program. The beauty about what they introduced is that it's not, you know, when you do a Wells or a Synchrony application, maybe 2, 3 get approved at, you know, if you're lucky, out of 10. The beauty of what One Step Technologies does is that they approve the subprime. So if you've got people that may not qualify for a Wells or a Synchrony, you can still offer financing in your store through One Step Technologies where you can close those additional sales. Maybe 7 or 8 out of 10 instead of 2 or 3, which immediately makes your profit margin go up. And I'm not really sure about how all of the programs work. I don't know if there is like a, you know, if it's the same as Wells, if there is a tag, if you do like, you know, 90 days interest free. I'm happy to give you his information. I'll be here all day so that you can contact him and talk to him. But the power of being able to offer in-store financing is with the detachment from a Wells or a Synchrony is incredible for y'all. I mean, think about just, again, let's go back to the Mark and Charlotte example. I'm sure most of you, if not all, do repairs in your store. So think about if someone comes in and they have something very special to them that they want repaired, and you have to break the sad news that it's going to cost, you know, $500, $800, $1,000, $1,200 to get it repaired. Most of the time, people don't understand what you're putting into it to make it cost that much, number one. That's a totally different subject. Number two, they don't have that ready cash laying around because if they're going to argue with you about a $5 watch battery, Lord knows they're going to argue with you about a $1,200 repair. But if you were able to do 2 things, to say, A, I have financing that can help you get your grandmother's ring repaired and restore that treasure for you. And B, once it's done, we can give you jewelry insurance that can insure it then for you. So that you're putting back together a big piece of their life. This financing gives you so much flexibility that way. And the fact that he has been very successful in approving on the subprime level means that those sales that you would normally miss or people that don't have ready cash will be able to, again, help you raise your profit margin because they're going to get repairs done that they may not have if it was that expensive.
What's the difference in interest rates?
They're comparable.
Oh.
Yes, they are.
Actually, they're very good.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I've used One Step Financial Board is a very good in approvals as well.
Yeah, and they're also good for your own, just a little side plug for Joe at One Step Financing. I have sent him a lot of retail customers that have had problems with a lot of big banks doing credit card processing. That, you know, people that were lost or people that were blacklisted where the company cuts you off, which is really where you don't want to be. And he has helped them without charge and gotten them back on track and online with their credit card processor. Aside from the fact that he does processing himself and his rates are great, it doesn't matter. You don't have to use him. He's still willing to help you. He is a very active and viable member of our community. And the beauty is he understands our jewelry industry and he understands the credit card processing side too. So it's not like you're just talking to someone who doesn't know, a voice on the phone that doesn't really understand your industry. He understands what happens when you ship out that Rolex and it doesn't show up where it needs to be. Or a customer sends you something back and you open it up and the box is empty. And he's got a whole bunch of tips that he can share with you on helping you to stop those types of things from happening. So, shop small and save big as far as a holiday offer. Offer incentives in your store. I'm sure that a lot of you are hearing that retail shopping is going more towards the retail shopping experience. So how do we give them an experience? Well, it's not really easy, but if you're creative, it can be not as hard as you think it is. I recommend for the holidays, do fun things. have hot cocoa, have marshmallows, have a little fondue pot. Anything that can make your customers linger a little bit longer. Offer the free wrapping. Get in special bags that they can use. Think about what you can brand, not only what you're selling, but what you're giving them with the sale. Can you offer them something with that sale that has your logo on it, that they're going to take home as a special gift? In Louisiana, we call it lagniappe, a little something extra. What do you have that you can throw into their bag to make them feel special, that they can remember you all year long from? I'm not talking about a pen. I'm not talking about a little calendar. I'm talking about being a little bit creative for some of your better customers. Where can you put your logo? What can you do? What if you gave them a little loop that had your store name on it? People love to feel like they're inside the jewelry industry. I know we do that sometimes with polishing cloths, but think about it a little bit more for the holidays. How can you engage them after the holidays with something that goes into their home or their business to continuously remind you of them? And I'm sure all of you extend your hours, right? Everybody has extended hours. How many of you close between Christmas and New Year's? Nobody. Wow, that's amazing.
It's Arkansas.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We
do the 26th.
No, yeah, but you don't close the whole week.
No.
No, okay, because there's some jewelry stores that just close the whole week. I think that's fabulous. And between Christmas and New Year's is a great way to take advantage of the people that got money, the people that want gift certificates, an opportunity for you to do a little blowout sale. Again, not on merchandise that you want to sell at a regular price. I'm a big believer in once you set your prices, try to keep them there. And if you want to negotiate a one-off or something, for a special customer, that's fine. But don't become known as the sales store in your area. You don't need that. But if you have extended hours, you can offer, again, some special things. People that are coming in, if you open up early in the morning and they want to come shop before they go to work, have something for them to go with. Make sure you have, styrofoam coffee cups or paper coffee cups that they can take a cup of coffee with them from you. Donuts, anything like that you can think of. I know someone that did last year very successfully, although I raised my eyebrows when I heard it. Those little mini Chick-fil-A breakfast sandwiches. Mark said they're so good. I know somebody that did that in their store, and literally they had people coming in every day that week on their way to work just to pick up their little Chick-fil-A sandwiches, and they did a lot of sales from it. It worked out well. And it's unusual, and it's different, and it makes people feel like you really want them to be there. The same thing with after hours. If you're staying open a little bit after hours, let your hair down a little bit. I know a lot of us are concerned about offering alcohol in the store for any number of reasons. But think about offering a special alcohol type of drink. Maybe it's, with near beer or, something that you don't have to worry about them drinking and driving with, a little bit of punch. Or give them a recipe for your own special punch that you might make in the store. And while I'm on that subject, I forgot to tell you one other thing. Think about, again, when I go back to talking about ways to brand yourself, think about doing your own personal coffee. A coffee with your store name on it. How would that be? There's so many artisanal coffee makers out there that would do small batch things for you. You can brand it, they can take it home, they can have it in their office, you can send it as gifts. It's well worth the money. It's something unusual and unique that most people wouldn't get. And it says that you care about them. Especially if after the second time that they come in, you know whether they want, highly caffeinated or decaf. And then you can always just stick it in their bag for them. Small things, small ways to promote yourself that aren't going to cost you a ton of money that people can take afterwards and think about you. They're on their way to the office, give them 5 or 10 personal, single bags of coffee and have them share it. Better than a business card, and they'll remember you, especially if you've created the brew. Again, the other thing is too, this makes a great public relations story. A great story for your media, your local media. So-and-so Jewelers is creating their own coffee, and this is how they're doing it. We're going to take you behind the scenes, and this is how it tastes. Special events where you can bring everything together is going to be what the sweet spot is for your store to continue to grow. I personally don't believe that retail shopping is dead. And the more evidence I see of this in all of the things that I read every day, it continues to confirm that. Yes, Amazon is huge, and yes, they do take business away from some segments of the market. And yes, they're probably capturing jewelry sales that might go to some jewelers. But if you're creative and you make that connection and you continue to focus on making a connection with your customers and with your community, think local first. The internet allows us to sell online. Yes, it's a great market that we can capture. But if you think small and you think local first, just like Small Business Saturday allows you to do, and grow your community out from there, you're going to get much better results. Because people still want to come in and see you. They don't, listen, I've never heard of one person, one customer, and I've probably talked to maybe 5,000 people in the last 4 or 5 years. Not one customer that I've ever talked to that's bought from Blue Nile has sent their grandmother's ring into Blue Nile to get the diamond set. What does that tell you? And I know it's frustrating, and I know it makes us all angry when someone comes in and says, hey, I just bought this off the internet, and will you set it for me? I know we just want to say, no, get out of here. Go, why didn't you got ripped off, I could have done it better. But you know what? It's too late at that point. It's too late. So if you want to save the sale and probably make more money than what you would have made if you would have sold the piece anyway, because we all know how thin margins are in diamonds, accept it graciously and sell them up on the mounting. And sell them up on anything that you have that can accent it. If it's a male customer that comes in, say, you know what? It'd be really, yes, I can set this for you. And I have the perfect pair of diamond earrings for you to give her when you give her this as an engagement gift. Think again, what else can you sell? McDonald's does this best, people. Add on sales. You want an apple pie with that? You want French fries with that? Do you want a drink with that? We don't do enough of that. And I think part of it is because we're always thinking big ticket and larger things that we can sell. But the other part of it as well is that, getting back to what I first said, we don't do a good enough job of selling ourselves. So what I want you to do when you go, I'm going to task you when you go back to your store tomorrow or Tuesday, whichever day you're open, is ask every one of your employees, what do you think I, as a person, do best? If you're the boss, what do I do best as the boss? And then once you ask them all, and once they all tell you, I want you to tell them all the same thing. These are your strengths. This is what you do best. I don't tell you this often enough. Or maybe I've overlooked it, or maybe I forgot. If you start bringing out the best in those people, they'll bring out the best in you. And going into Small Business Saturday and the holiday season, hopefully it'll be your most profitable one ever. And at that, I'm going to wrap up so I can make sure I have enough time for Chuck. But I will take questions from you if you have a few questions.
Have you seen anyone do Small Business Saturday really good that maybe we could look at or something? Or okay,
yes.
Maybe you'll give us some
I
names.
actually worked with Worthmore Jewelers out of Atlanta for a Small Business Saturday promotion that was phenomenal for them. And in that instance, we worked on we worked with a specific designer, but the results that they had were unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Other questions?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, I mean, just from my experience, and Ann actually started with us for helping organize events for our Vegas a couple of years ago. That was the first time we did it. She's meticulous to organizing events. And I think when you have somebody in that leadership position, you need that. Sometimes as business owners, we can't do everything. And when you hand that part over to somebody else, I think that's where it's going to make a difference. And if you have an event coordinator, I think that's where it comes in, where everything is charted out, everything is planned, everything is programmed, and everything runs like a smooth operation where it needs to be. And I think a lot of retailers probably don't use that sometimes in their day-to-day operations because they feel like, I don't feel it justified to pay for it. I can do this on my own, but you really can't. It takes a lot to organize an event.
Successfully, yes. And get you the public relations. What you want out of a successful event is two things. Number one, of course, you want sales. But number two, you want the promotion. You want the public relations. You want the buzz, the sizzle with the steak. You want to create that sizzle. And you want to have that sizzle everlasting and have legs after your particular event. And the way to do that is to create a paper trail that says, yes, you put it on Facebook. Yes, we did a press release. and have the actual physical evidence of your success in photos, in writing, however it may be. The other thing I want to offer to you, and I've got these with me, you can come get it when we're done. Another company that I work with, which is TK Enterprises, they are an event call center out of Canada, and they have a promotion that's going on right now where you can win 500 phone calls free from them if you like their Facebook page and have a friend like it. So if you're thinking about doing, and it just doesn't matter, you guys can, anybody can do it. It doesn't matter if you're a retailer, if you're a vendor, as long as you're in the jewelry industry. If you go like their page, and you have a friend, a jewelry industry friend like their page as well, both of you could win 500 free phone calls. Now, maybe you don't have an event planned, but how you can use those 500 phone calls is like this. Do you want to clean up your mailing list? Do you want to get email addresses of people that you don't have? Do you want to find out what customers might be interested in special events? You want to do a quick customer survey? I actually used them when I did Anisha's thing out in Vegas a couple of years ago, and I've used them for every customer that I had since. Now, I know we all hate getting phone calls, but this is all they do. They do the Pandora promotions for Pandora USA. They're that successful. It doesn't matter. They have a nice manner on the phone. They'll call and say, "Come, do you want to shop at, whatever it might be. Or hi, I'm so-and-so from such and such jewelers. We're cleaning up our list, our customer list, and we want to keep you on the top of it." So 500 free phone calls for any promotion that you have during the holidays is a great offer. So if you want one of these, come see me when we're done. I want to thank you all for inviting me and having me. I really appreciate it. I'll be here the rest of the day if you have one-on-one social media questions, digital assets, digital strategy, all the things that make your eyes roll back in your head, because I know, I see it all the time. Mark's laughing, he's like, yeah, I know him. I'll be here, and I'm happy to talk to you. Thank you all very much.